So Vans really changed up their game this year with the V66. It's just a fun boot. You know, I think they changed it up last year, but we didn't really get on many boots to really know for sure, and didn't really give them that detailed, in-depth comparison like we're doing here, borrowing them for, you know, a week or so, and really spending some time on them, and really riding them on some of our favorite boards with our favorite bindings, and really getting to know them. So it was great that Vans got these out to us. And man, we're really impressed. First off, kind of one of the most important things we think of a lot. I mean, comfort is, of course, most important over anything. But reduced footprint is way up there. And this footprint now is right there with almost all the Burton boots. We sized it up, it seemed almost dead even. So now if you're somebody looking for a reduced footprint boot, Vans is in that category now, and it's right there. It's, you know, reduced toe and heel drag is pretty good. You can see it's got a decent curve up here. It's not the best on the toe. Pardon me, a little under the weather, but just, you know, powering through with some honey and some lemon and some whiskey. A little tea in there too. But enough gab. You know, the toe here is, you know, you get a little more response on the toe ramp than you do like with Burton and Adidas, but there's a little more toe and heel drag, but it's all compensated in different ways. So I wouldn't say this is more responsive because of that. It just, you know, has a feature there that allows it to do that where other areas aren't. The articulation here with the V66 isn't ideal, but there is a little pinch. And, you know, it's a softer boot. It feels like medium soft when you first get it, and it's probably going to graduate into soft, to medium soft to soft. But there are some advantages with that, because you do have this little power strap in here that can go on the inside. Here, I'll show you here because this is off. It can go around the liner on the inside or around this to give it a little added response. You know, gosh, this is a great price point. I think it's like $229 if I can remember correctly, but it's somewhere around there. It's somewhere in the twos, which it seems like everybody's boots are just going up in price. And this is made so well. And it's very soft and playful, but when you tighten this strap up, you do get a bump in response. So it can kind of go from like medium slow, which is great for like freestyle boards, all mountain freestyle boards, to kind of medium-ish response if you really crank down the strap and you really, you know, tighten up the top of the boot to get a little more leverage. It's really great. And God, I love that they do all rubber. You know, and then it graduates to, you know, EVA foam up here. And it's not really super shock absorbent. In the heel, it's pretty good. But the toe is really minimal. So it has that skate feel in the toe where you really feel in tune with your board. And then just a little bit of shock absorption in the heel. To where you don't feel like you're just sitting there alone. And when paired up with a good shock absorbent binding, it's great. If you're going to pair this up with like flux bindings or something like that have absolutely no shock absorption, then it might be a little rough of a ride, but all in all, most bindings have enough shock absorption when paired with this to do a good job. This liner is super cush. It's so funny. Every Vans, the first time I tried them on when I got them in the house, I felt a little tight, just kind of like Vans shoes for me. Like I run a little bit on the wide side, so, and Vans shoes, skate shoes and such, seem to run a little bit on the narrow side. And they're not narrow, but they're a little more on the narrow side. Where their skate shoes never really break in. I usually have to go like a 10.5 for their skate shoe to feel comfortable, and I'm normally a 9. Well, this size 9 boot felt a little tight at first, but after a couple runs, this heat moldable liner, it was a hot day though. The days I've been riding it, the last 2 weeks, it's just been super hot with all the Vans boots I rode. I was like, you know, never really below 30, kind of going from like high 30s to low 50s. But it just felt like it conformed to my foot perfectly after a few runs. So my feet were numb at the beginning of the day. By the end of the day, it felt like this boot was a part of me, and that was really cool. I can't guarantee it's going to be the same thing for you, but I didn't have a single hot spot, not a single blister, not a single pressure point on any of the Vans boots. So yeah, they might not last a long time in terms of their flex flex longevity might not really be there for a lot of people for a long time, but man, they're comfortable almost instantaneously, and they feel great. So if you're somebody looking, you know, either you don't care if your boot gets soft and you like a softer boot, Vans will be great because there's good construction here. It's going to last a long time. You got this rubber sole is going to last forever. I don't think they're going to get torn up real easy. So I think, you know, if you're okay with going softer, they'll last a long time. Or if you're just only riding a few days a year, you know, 10 to 30 days a year, these will be just fine. And they'll keep their flex well enough, especially with that power strap, to kind of hang in there a little longer, but they'll be comfortable every time you ride. So you maximize your day on the hill. A lot of boots that last a long time come with, you know, some consequence too. You have to break them in and you have to endure some hot spots, and that can kind of suck. This Ultra Cush liner is, insert is really good for, you know, it being a factory insert. Yeah, there's some better inserts out there, but I'd probably use this for a little bit until it starts breaking in, and then go with my, you know, custom orthotic or with like a footprint insole technology, you know, like a Game Changer or something like that, or like a King Foam orthotic, because those just seem to have a little bit better fit. But man, this isn't bad for this price point in the factory, and there's flex retention on the liner. I wouldn't really go with the heat molding on the liner. These are so damn comfortable. I didn't have a single problem. Then I'd probably just break it in myself, and that's what I would recommend to you guys too. It's got wool on the inside. They were very warm. The toe is a little soft. I feel like it's going to collapse over time, and I'd love for them to reinforce the toe. But that's really my only gripe. This is just a great boot for the price point. It's not really something that's going to be amazing, but for the price point it is. And I love traditional lace because you have so much adjustability over speed lace and boa, especially single boa, which is usually in this price point, or focus boa, which sometimes isn't routed correctly in this price point, and can cause pressure points and such. But man, all in all, both Peter and I really like this V66, and it's you know, not a bad boot for this price point. Don't be afraid of the traditional lace.